The November 13th, 2023 Mason City Council meeting. I'm going to call this meeting to order and ask for roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Nelson.
Here.
Councilmember Chance.
Here.
Councilmember Bradburn.
Present.
Councilmember Hackey.
Here.
Councilmember Grossman.
Here.
Councilmember Stricula.
Here.
Mayor Spaeth.
Here. Item 3, I need a motion to approve the minutes from the October 9th council meeting.
So moved.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Item 4, city manager's report. Eric?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple of items. First one is to recognize some guests we have in the audience. We have the opportunity to recognize the Mason High School girls tennis team late last month. The team secured the 7th, is that right? 7th consecutive title of state champions. I think with council's consent, I'd like to ask to move Resolution 2332 up to this point in the agenda so we can finish that recognition and maybe let the girls finish eating. And
So moved. Second.
Okay.
and I'm sorry, I left off. Head coach Mike Reed is here and I think can help introduce us to the.
And actually, I would like to backtrack. We just realized we left one thing off of the agenda. We forgot to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So I would like I'm just going to backtrack. I would like to do the pledge. So if everyone would please stand and let's do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Nope, that one's. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. And I really apologize for that. I'm not sure if I should we blame you, Eric, for that one? Or
Dan gets
okay. Okay, so we are going to move up item number 10, which is Resolution 2023-32. And I am going to invite, well, let's go ahead and have Jeff read the resolution.
This is Resolution 2023-32, congratulating the Mason High School girls tennis team on earning their 7th consecutive title as state champions. Whereas the Mason High School girls tennis team, led by Coach Mike Reed, was the 2023 Greater Miami Conference champions with a perfect 8-0 record, and whereas Mason High School's Addison Cassidy was the state tournament singles qualifier sectional tournament champion and placed 3rd in the district tournament. Addison was also named MVP of the team and won GMC Co-Athlete of the Year. And whereas teammates Emma Wagner and Pratyusha Chaudhuri represented the Mason Comets in the state tournament with the doubles champions, sectional tournament champions, and district tournament champions. And whereas Swathi Reddy and Anna Gotike were state tournament doubles runner-ups, sectional tournament runners-up, and district tournament runners-up. And whereas through hard work, dedication, and discipline, the Mason High School girls tennis team has earned its 7th consecutive year as state champions, resulting in the biggest sports dynasty in Mason High School history. And whereas the entire Mason community is proud of the accomplishments of the Mason girls tennis team, their commitment to the sport, and their contribution to the city's efforts to recognize the importance of tennis in Mason. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mason, Ohio, members thereto concurring, Section 1, that the Council of the City of Mason hereby congratulates the Mason High School girls tennis team on the success of their 2023 season.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, I need a motion to adopt.
So moved. Second.
Okay, any council discussion?
Mayor,
Yes.
I was just talking to Coach Reed before the meeting, and you girls, he told me that he annually just has this in his calendar now.
that every year he just shows up at council to celebrate a state victory. So that's a lot to continue, but congratulations, 7 years in a row. That is phenomenal in regards to, I mean, and we're in Division I, right? So you're playing the largest competition that the state has to offer, and then you guys have done it 7 years in a row. I don't know if there's anything that's even close to that happening, not only in Mason, but any other school district. So major congratulations on that. That is incredible. And I think it's probably not as much coaching as is your talent. So good job. Just kidding. Great job, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
Ladies, I am so excited that we've been able to secure tennis in Mason for another 25 years, and I'm looking forward to seeing you compete.
Okay, anyone else? I just want to say congratulations. As you know, here in Mason, we love tennis, and we're very, very proud of you all. I know we have a lot of sports teams at the high school that do a really phenomenal job, but wow, 7 years in a row, that's really great. So proud of you. Congratulations. So is there anyone else want to say anything before? Okay, well, let's go ahead and have the roll call, please.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Okay, I want to invite Coach Mike Reed to come up, and the players, if you would. We want to give you a little recognition. If you want to come up to the in front here. Did you want to say something? No, I think you okay, all right. Would you go to the podium, please? Okay, thank you, thank you. Sure, you do, yes, yes.
Relatively brief, but anyway. Just go ahead and line it up, girls. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Reed, and it's been my privilege to coach these girls for the last 12 or 13 years or so. I just wanted to thank City Council for the recognition. These are super talented kids, not only in tennis, but academically and a lot of other ways as well. The other thing I want to do is thank you for all your efforts for keeping the tournament here. I know it's really important to me and my co-coach Leighton Jones here and to these kids. It's so fun for me to go out in August and see all our players run around all over the tournament and being ball boys, ball girls, volunteering, and just generally enjoying it. So thank you for everything you've done there. I know it took a lot of people and a lot of work, and we're very thankful. I want to say thanks to my co-coach this year, Leighton Jones, buddy of mine, tennis buddy of mine, rather. As some of you know, I retired last year, and then the athletic director talked to me about a couple months later and asked me if I was going to retire for sure. And I said probably, but then I asked Leighton if he would share duties with me, which allowed me to get out of town a little bit, and he agreed, and it's been a very fruitful relationship. So I want to talk just briefly about this team. Obviously, you hit on a couple of things, but I'm going to go just a little bit deeper. State championships don't happen unless everything comes together. And some of it's luck, but a lot of it's hard work. And this team, I've probably never had a team that worked this hard before. So I'm really proud of these girls because they came to play every single day in practice and every match, and they just got better. I've never had a team improve so much during the year. And what's amazing about it, is what I'm getting to, is the 7 kids that we had playing on the court for the state championship. It was 4 freshmen and 3 sophomores. So you may see these girls again. And our team accomplishment, we won the state championship, but in addition, we had 2 kids win a double state championship, and that was a freshman and a sophomore. Pratusha and Emma, could you raise your hands? Double state champs. They're very shy, but and you don't win state championships unless you have good leadership on your team. And I had 2 of the best leaders I've ever had in my career. this year that really helped these freshmen and sophomores learn the culture of Mason tennis and what we do. And what we do is we win a lot, but we also have a lot of fun. And our co-captain in charge of fun was Swathi Reddy, and I'm going to let her take it over from here. Go ahead, Swathi.
Dear Mayor, City Council, and fellow citizens of Mason, I stand before you today along with my teammates as the 2023 Girls Tennis State Champions for the 7th year in a row. I'm Swathi Reddy, I'm a senior, and I'm a co-captain.
And I'm Anisha Nandra, I'm a senior, and I'm also a co-captain.
So we would like to tell you all a little bit about our teammates, and we're going to start off with what we call is the bench gang. But before that, I want to explain what it means to be on the bench gang. Everyone obviously wants to be on this team and play every match, but there's just too much talent and not enough spots. So that leaves the bench gang to cheer on every one of their teammates, losing their voices and getting complaints from parents, coaches, and other players. It's hard not being able to play, but it's a great strength to stand on the sidelines and support your teammates until the end. It's evident that we have the best bench gang in the state, and it's arguable that that's why we have won 7 titles straight. So let's begin with Harshita Ganga. Ganga is a junior who is an asset to the team with her academic abilities. She has taken every course that Mason has to offer and has scored a 36 on her ACT.
One of our other bench gang members is sophomore Niyati Katuria. Niyati never fails to make us laugh and encourage positivity. She is selfless and always hardworking.
Now we have Pratusha Chaudhary, who is a sophomore on the team, who has won Mason's first doubles state title. She played singles throughout the season and then went on to win a state championship in doubles. Her talent pushes everyone on the team to be better.
Next, we have Chloe Zhang. Chloe's a freshman who has a big personality and brings a lot of energy to our team. She played second doubles throughout the year, and she fought hard during the individual tournament and won a second doubles in the team state.
And now we have Emma Wagner. Emma is just a freshman who also has a doubles state championship under her name. Emma and Pratusha were just an unstoppable duo. Emma shows up every day to work hard, and it was so fun having her on the team.
Next is sophomore Anna Gotique. Anna is an amazing team member as she's motivated, ambitious, and kind. Anna was a huge asset to her team this year as she played doubles throughout the season. She also played first doubles at her state finals match, and not to mention, she also achieved a perfect score on her AP Computer Science Principles exam.
Next, we have Sanvi Reddy. Sanvi is a freshman who is dedicated to getting better. Sometimes she can be a little sassy, but she's so thoughtful about everyone. Sanvi qualified for state and doubles this year after a very successful regular season.
Next, we have freshman Ayumi Kashiwakura. Cash has a quiet personality, but brought so much energy to the team. She has a positive spirit that uplifts others, and Cash played second doubles throughout the season. However, during the state team matches, Cash stepped up and took the role of playing third singles. She's our secret weapon as she won the third singles court during the state team match this year.
Thank you to every one of these girls and our coaches for an amazing season and hopefully many more titles to come. Thank you to Mason for giving us the resources for our program and recognizing us tonight.
Thank you all very much. Now, which player's the sassy one? I think you and I would get along really well. Oh, I'm so excited for you all, and I can tell that you all are very humble about your accomplishments, both on the court and in school, and it's just really proud that you all are here. I'm so glad that you guys could join us, and I can tell you're more than just a team; you're a family. let's try it. I want to get a picture, and if you get, everybody will come from, we'll get all of council and get a picture. Okay, Eric, do you want to continue with the city manager's report?
Just a couple of other items, Mayor. Continue to celebrate Mason as our ranking is the 4th best place to live. For the months of November and December, we're highlighting opportunities to shop local. There are a number of programs. Information is available on the website, but they include Wednesday, November 15th is the Shop Local event at the Community Center. Saturday, November 25th, the city is joined to celebrate Small Business Saturday, which is a national initiative aimed at supporting small businesses. We're partnering with several of the small businesses, especially in the downtown areas, providing Mason Monopoly games for them to distribute to select customers on Small Business Saturday. And we have also initiated the Shop Small Holiday Passport Program to encourage folks to visit multiple small businesses in Mason, and then they're eligible to receive a Come Together Mason e-gift card. As Thanksgiving approaches, city offices will be closed on Thursday, November 23rd and Friday, November 24th in observance of the holiday. The Community Center will be open on Thanksgiving Day, but from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. With limited access, but includes the fitness floor, the track, gymnasium, as well as locker rooms. Also want to remind folks that as the holiday season approaches, the city will host the annual tree lighting ceremony on Friday, December 1st at the Downtown Plaza in Mason. Ceremony takes place at 6:30 p.m., but this annual event includes a variety of activities, includes holiday music, photos with Santa, iceless ice skating, train rides, food, beverages, craft stations between 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. Also, the 2023 Welcome Home for the Holidays calendar will be distributed at the event with details, both hosted by the city as well as many of our partners and businesses throughout the holiday season. That is probably a timely place to also announce, with council's consent, and odd years, the city holds an organizational meeting on December 1st, and suggesting that that meeting be held at 5 p.m. when newly elected council members can be sworn in. We would like to have a 4 p.m. open house with refreshments But if council is amenable to a 5 p.m. start time for our December 1st organizational meeting, probably a motion would be appropriate now.
Does anyone want to make that
I'll
motion?
make that motion to
Okay.
start at 5 p.m. on December 1st.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay.
That should allow time for newly organized council to attend the tree lighting ceremony at 6:30. Two other reminders, the Mason Symphony Orchestra is holding its annual holiday concert. That will be on Sunday, December 3rd at 4 p.m. They have a variety of holiday music featuring the Mason Chorale, Hallelujah Ringers, and Studio for Dance. As part of the city's partnership with the symphony, premier members of the community center can receive a discount. And then finally, Santa is once again going to make a few stops in Mason during the holidays. There's a Breakfast for Santa program on Sunday, December 3rd, held at the Grizzly Golf and Social Lodge. On Saturday, December 9th, Santa, as well as Mrs. Claus, will be on a fire engine that Mason is loaning to them for the day, making their way through the city, stopping at locations. There are 6 stops between 9 and 12 p.m. They include Fire Station 51, McKeno Park, Quinn Park, Station 52, Palmyra Dog Park, as well as the Mason Community Center. Then finally, Santa will make his last return trip to the Community Center on Thursday, December 14th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the lobby of the Community Center, and guests can come and get a photo with him. That is all I have for the manager's report.
All right, thank you, Eric. Okay, next is item 5, which is 2023 year in review. And this was something I did last year in 2022, because I felt like a lot of times we forget what we have accomplished through the year. And I also think it's a great opportunity, because I asked Eric if he would get staff to come up with the items that they are very proud of. So I think it helps staff remember how hard they've worked through the year. I'm always asked to do the top 10 or 15, but I just can't do that. So please be patient, because I'm going to read all of these items. And this is not for a pat on the back for council. This is really a pat on the back for our staff, because I can't say enough about how wonderful our staff is and how hard they work. So I'm going to read to you what has been accomplished for 2023. Okay, and this is not in any order of when it happened, and it's not in any order of what's more important than anything else. Dorothy Lane Market broke ground on their new location in Mason. And I just want to say, we just had this last week, and the family that owns Dorothy Lane Market are some of the most wonderful people and most humble people I've ever met. And actually, Mr. Maine, I was telling him about how everyone's so excited that Dorothy Lane is coming and can't wait for it to open. And he goes, oh, I hope their expectations are not so much that we're not going to be able to deliver. And I'm like, are you kidding? You're Dorothy Lane. I mean, so they were just really wonderful people. Okay, the city celebrated the 20th anniversary of the Mason Veterans Memorial by making significant enhancements and improvements that were unveiled as part of the November 11th rededication ceremony. And I'm sure later some of us will probably talk about that. The city named a new police chief, Levi Wells. The city implemented a reduction to the residential and commercial sewer utility rate, resulting in at least $150 in annual savings for residential customers and at least $125 in annual savings for commercial customers. The city celebrated its recent ranking as the 4th best place to live, with monthly programming and activities that highlighted the city's culture of wellness and quality of life. The city continued its commitment to the Grizzly Golf and Social Lodge with the completion of the irrigation project and council's authorization of the first phase of hole improvements to begin fall of 2024. The fire department initiated the first strategic plan to provide direction for the department's future. Vega opened their North American headquarters on 50 acres in Mason's new research and development park, hosting their leadership from Germany. The city will install its first electric vehicle charging station at the Fifth Third parking lot in downtown Mason. The city maintains a general obligation bond rating at AAA from Moody's Investors Service. This is the highest rating available for any long-term bonds. Mason was first rated by Moody's in 1998 at AA3, 2A3. The rating was upgraded in 2007 and again in 2009. In 2010, it was upgraded to the top AAA rating and has continued to maintain the rating. The Aquatic Center expanded its inclusive programming with the Mason Champions program. The city of Mason was ranked the second safest small city in the United States. The city displayed its first ever aerial drone show at the 2023 Heritage Festival. Mason and L3 Harris hosted NASA astronauts celebrating the technology made here in Mason and its contribution to the Artemis 1 spacecraft on a journey around the moon. The police department underwent 9 total leadership promotions, including 2 new captains, 2 lieutenants, and 5 sergeants. The police department has gained another explosive detection dog, K9 Officer Timber, thanks to the continued partnership with Kings Island. The city reiterated our commitment to the Warren County Drug Task Force by making a 10-year annual contribution commitment to help reduce drug abuse and addiction in the city of Mason and Warren County. The city completed the US 42 Roundabouts project, adding the 8th and 9th roundabout in the city. The city, in partnership with the Mason Parks and Recreation Foundation and Mason Challenger League, broke ground on 2 adaptive ball fields at McKeno Park. The Mason Community Center remains a significant community asset with over 1,700 new members joining in 2023, with a total of 3,970 Medicare members and 3,529 Premier and Basic members. Construction and inspection continued on Mercy Hospital, which is set to open by the end of this year. Progress continued on the overall $29 million State Route 741 widening project. The city hosted a patriotic community concert featuring the Southwest Ohio Philharmonic, as well as a veterans fishing event as part of the 20th anniversary celebration of the Mason Veterans Memorial. The city, in partnership with the American Legion, established a Memorial Stone program to honor Gold Star families and Purple Heart recipients. The city established a partnership with the Mason Symphony Orchestra to host 3 concerts for the community to enjoy, further enhancing the arts in Mason. The city partnered with community volunteers to host the first annual Picture Mason Downtown Art Hop. City of Mason manta ray swimmer Jason Zhao set a world junior record in the 4x100 freestyle relay. City of Mason manta rays sent 3 swimmers to the World Junior Championships in Israel. The city collaborated with the MAID CDC to engage with downtown Mason and further the Mason Mile project. The City Council updated Chapter 121 regarding council rules and procedures to include a code of conduct for city council members. The city celebrated milestone anniversaries for local community organizations, Kiwanis Club of Mason, and the Mason Community Players. The city will officially name and dedicate Gould Park in Mason and have an ordinance tonight to direct planning for the park. The Mason Fire Department celebrated its 25th anniversary. The fire department earned the American Heart Association Mission Lifelong Gold Award for excellent pre-hospital care. The city purchased a new ambulance and ladder truck, strengthening the city's public safety and emergency response fleet. The city's IT office led upgrades to 2 significant operational software systems, including CMI financial software, SCADA software for the water reclamation plant. The fire department was awarded a $120,000 education grant to develop more firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics throughout the department. The city upgraded all city-owned streetlights to LED. The city reimagined its approach to citywide mowing contracts, which resulted in a savings of $280,000 a year. The solids dryer at the water reclamation plant underwent significant maintenance, furthering the life of the equipment that is part of this critical city service. A new weight load cell scale for biosolids was installed at the water reclamation plant, resulting in a more efficient process that requires fewer staffing resources and time. The city recruited 25 full-time employees and 76 part-time seasonal employees to maintain city services across 8 departments. The city of Mason was ranked within the top 10 healthiest employers in Ohio in 2023, as well as the 2023 Healthy Business Council of Ohio Award due to its robust employee wellness program. Mason also earned the 2023 Healthy Business Council of Award, along with a bonus Cancer Screening Excellence Award from the Ohio Department of Health for our efforts in promoting preventative cancer screenings to employees in the 2022 calendar year. The city partnered with CM Paula to administer the first Property Assessed Clean Energy Program, which is called PACE, project in the city, which resulted in CM Paula being the first fully solar-powered business in Mason. The city continued programs that connect the community and enhance community pride, including Music of Mason and the Heritage Festival. The city offered its seventh class of City Team 1, a year-long organizational and leadership development program comprised of employees from all city departments, furthering the city's core values of communication, cooperation, collaboration, and compassion. I guess you call that 4 C's now, right? The city's IT department partnered with Homeland Security Cyber Division to enhance Mason's cyber security efforts. The city hosted the Red Rhythm and Boom event featuring Lit and Jim Blossoms with a trajectory for the event that regained momentum from pre-pandemic concerts. The crowd size during the opening act was similar to last year's peak and continued to grow during Jim Blossoms to an estimated size between 25 to 30,000 people. And last but not least, the city, working with many others in the county and the state, retained the Western and Southern Tennis Tournament in Mason, Ohio. Now, I know that's a lot, and that's a lot to go over, but I just really think it's important that we realize how hard our staff works, and I just want them all to realize we're very, very proud of them and look forward to 2024. And with that, I will go on to the next item. I believe that you said the item number 6, there's not someone from MAID CDC here for the Mason Mile update, is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry, the MAID CDC recognized that the agenda was fairly full and indicated that they felt at our regular December meeting, they would have an informative update for council. So
Okay.
you can take a pass.
All right, thank you. We'll go on to item 7, which is recognition of visitors, and I'm going to ask Jeff to remind us about our protocol.
Sure, thank you, Mayor. This is just as a reminder, we have a lot of new faces in the crowd tonight. Last year, council adopted some rules of procedure. Just to let everyone know, council wants to hear from everyone that wants to address them. You have 5 minutes to address council, and that 5 minutes is your opportunity to address council. It's not meant for Q&A or back and forth. But those are your 5 minutes, and 5 minutes for council to hear what you have to say. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, anybody would like to come to our podium and address council? Yes, please come up and state your name and your address, please.
My name is Tom Grossman, and my address is 4533 Morris Court, Mason, Ohio. Thank you for giving Kathy back to me. We're gonna have much more fun on Monday nights like this. And thank you, Kathy, for your service, and thank you for council's. Okay, I'm sure there were other things, Barbara, that you could have mentioned, but that was an impressive list. And you guys obviously have done a lot. Thank you for tennis. That was a collaboration, but Mason was integral to that. And thanks most of all for all of what you have done and the care that you've taken with my wife over the last 8 years and those of you who have served with her. So with that, I would just thank you, Kathy, for your service. And I know you've done a wonderful job. She works hard for the city. And thank you, Eric, and the rest of the staff, and Jennifer, very, very much for your help for Kathy over these 8 years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Please state your name and your address, please.
Sure. So my name is Vinith Arasala. I live in Pleasant Ridge, but my family has a house here in 4954 Chestnut Hill Drive. But I am a lifelong Mason resident. I went to Mason High School. I graduated in 2014. And since 2016, I've actually been located here, and my business has been located here as well. I run a company called Geneticist. We're a medical imaging company that's looking to revolutionize how people actually diagnose cardiac care today. The thing I will say about that is we've grown since here from 2016, since we were just a few people, all the way to 26 people, many of whom are Mason High School graduates as well. And I'm here, though, to say not so much that, you know, all these cool things I've done, but more because I want to recognize council for really everything they've done to enable our growth and our success here, growing from just a couple people to a team of 26 who's raised $40+ million in capital, both locally from investment firms like Cincy Tech as well as places all across the country. But I'm here more importantly to recognize the fact that I think Mason has been able to, thanks to the guidance of City Council, put its name on the map as a location of entrepreneurial excellence, not only in Southwest Ohio, but in Ohio broadly. And in that process, I'm very honest, right? A lot of our success would not have been possible without the support of the city broadly and the support of leadership here. Our achievements specifically have stemmed all the way from when we were young and in school, from the strong school systems here, the strong mentors we've been able to have, and even today with some innovative partnerships we've been able to embark on with the city of Mason specifically. Mason economic development in particular has been a linchpin in our success as we've grown through the years. It's allowed us to build awareness for our technology and connect with local healthcare leaders in the area. And also, moreover than that, even build strong clinical office space here. We've been able to run many national level clinical studies here in this very building actually, where we call home, and been able to also recognize Mason and unique co-sponsorship arrangements where we've been able to really been able to bring medical leaders from all over the country to Cincinnati and Mason specifically in the sponsorship of these kinds of events. We have a strong history of working with the city in order to expand reach not only for us but also for the city. And in general, a lot of that really comes down to the leadership that council here has provided. So I wanted to say, obviously, thank you not only to Mason City Council, but also to other local partners in the area like Cincy Tech, for example, who've been able to really, I think, instill this partnership that has made our story successful, but I also believe can make the story successful for other local startups here in the area. And so, in conclusion, to our friends in the city of Mason, I really wanted to say that the ability to build a strong, fast-growing business really comes down to a lot of leadership decisions that are made at this local municipal level. And I know for a fact it would not be without a lot of local municipal employees that we wouldn't have been able to be as successful as we are today. So I just want to encourage that spirit of entrepreneurship in terms of decision-making moving forward, and really say, here's to the future, because I believe a lot of great things can happen with these types of partnerships. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you giving us that update, and it's exciting news. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. State your name.
Good evening. I'm Mike Venerable, and I live at 9720 Carriage Run Court in Loveland, Ohio, but for 19 years I lived on Maxwell Drive in Mason. And I only moved because we were pushed out by the popularity of the city when we were looking for an empty nester home, so we made room for more people. But we live right across the border. Across from Menards is how I describe it to people. Close to the Dorothy Lane Market, which is super exciting for me. I am the CEO of Cincy Tech, and I've been at Cincy Tech since 2007. We did fund Vineet and Piyush's company. Great representation. The fact that the schools in Mason are so good, you don't even have to go to college. You can drop out of college and create a great company. It's cutting edge, but I think the story of our partnership, so we have really a lot of support from a lot of places around the state and the community. we really only have two municipal partners, the city of Cincinnati and the city of Mason. And we've had long-term relationships with both. And if you think of those as kind of the barbells of the tech economy along I-71 and a little bit over into Sharonville, that relationship goes back to the time we started a company called ICRC in a strip mall on Columbia Road. That we only ended up there because one of our investors owned the strip mall, and we could get space there without signing a long-term lease. Then we needed a lab, we got a little bit more space, then we needed more space, and we thought, where are we gonna put this company? And it wasn't our idea or the company's idea, it was the city of Mason's idea. We could put it in the community center, which to me was bizarre, but in the end made a huge amount of sense, and we were there for a long time. And then when we really were growing fast, and we needed a place to put a genetics lab, we thought, where could we put the genetics lab? And they said, why don't you just put it in the basement of the municipal building where it is today. We're world-class, the highest in genetic sequencing technology in the world is operating beneath our feet here today, and FedEx boxes come in. The great thing about that is that's not how normal municipalities behave. That's not how they think. They don't think about how do we put Cardiac Innovation Center right here where everybody can see it and say, this is our commitment, not just to entrepreneurship and innovation, but also to health and the healthcare of humans. The AssureX test, now Myriad Genetics, has been used by over 2 million people now. It is a critically important guide for psychiatrists trying to administer really dangerous drugs to people that have behavioral health crises. We should all be proud that that company started and grew here in Mason. What Vineet and his team are doing is remarkable. It will change how cardiac triage is done, creating accessibility and affordability and equity in that world in a much better way. That's what Mason has done and meant for us as a partner over the years. Creativity, incredible continuous support, and I think all the things that Vineet said as well. The most important thing, though, is when I saw the tennis team, it reminded me of how many smart people live here, smart kids are growing up here. Like the supply of human capital that's here is just amazing. That's hugely important to our business, to his business, and all the things we fund. So I just wanted to thank you for your support over the years.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you again so much. Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name's Jeff New, and I live at 5336 Wheatmore Court. I really wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but I wanted to address the Gould Park that I understand we're going to be voting on tonight. The Gould Farm Park is literally my backyard. I moved into my house, built my house, and moved in 1996, not knowing what was coming to Mason. I think everybody moved up here because I was living here, but that's another whole story. But anyway, so the progression of the Gould Park from 2001 to, 2004 for the plans to 2014, my kids were 3 and 5, and I thought I was going to have a park. I'm sure Mrs. Gould could have sold the property for more money, put an art center there, but she didn't. She made a promise to the city of Mason, and I think it's time that we put this to bed and get this thing started. I have grandkids now. I would love to be able to have them in my backyard playing at the park that Mrs. Gould envisioned when she sold the property to Mason. So hopefully this thing gets behind us. It's been at least 10 years. The plans have been 15 more years. I think it's time to, let's do this, okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come up?
Mayor, members of the council, city staff, wearing several hats this evening. First, I want to commend Kathy Grossman and Tony Bradburn for their service to the city of Mason. I've had the privilege of working with both of them for years over my time on council, and their expertise Their knowledge of city services and their personalities have been a blessing, and we're going to miss you guys, but thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Mayor, as a former mayor, when you read that list, my heart was pounding. You just know the ins and outs of all that you listed with those that have worked so hard within the city, and we're so proud of everything you guys have done in the city staff. Also want to say on behalf of Gould Park, we have some of the Gould Park Committee here with us this evening, and we cannot tell you how happy we are that we are on the agenda tonight in a positive way. I know we'll get a round of applause for that one as well. We're just looking forward to bright days very soon, so thank you very much for that.
Would anyone else like to come forward and address council? Okay. All right. We will then go on to item 8, which is Resolution 2023-30. And I'm going to ask Jeff to read the resolution.
Okay. Resolution 2023-30, commending Kathy Grossman for her outstanding dedication and service to the city of Mason, Ohio. Whereas Kathy Grossman has given dedicated service to the city of Mason, Ohio, serving as council member from December of 2015 through November of 2023, and mayor from December 2019 to November 2021. And whereas Kathy Grossman has attended over 165 council meetings and certified over 1,000 ordinances and 180 resolutions, and whereas Kathy Grossman has served as chair of the Employee Relations, Community and Recreation, Economic Development, Policy and Legislation, Arts and Entertainment, Community Center, and Court Liaison Committees, and was an active member of Downtown, Educational Initiatives, Equipment, Finance, Public Services, Public Works, and Wellness Committees. And whereas Kathy Grossman served as council representative on Planning Commission, Park Advisory Board, and OKI Regional Council of Governments during her time as a council member and mayor. And whereas Kathy Grossman was instrumental in leading Mason's business recovery program in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, at time of launch was the largest business recovery program per capita in the country, allocating over $2.2 million to widespread economic relief to both residents and Mason businesses. And whereas Kathy's support of the development of the Mason Municipal Aquatic Center, including the outdoor leisure pool and enclosed 50-meter pool, have enhanced Mason's complement of community recreational amenities and led to Mason's commitment for teaching all residents to be safe in the water while growing aquatic programming throughout the region. And whereas Kathy Grossman's efforts toward the development of 2 wellness amenities in Mason, McKeno Park Common Ground Playground and Palmyra Dog Park, have furthered Mason's mission of building a culture of wellness in the community. And whereas Kathy Grossman has experienced growth of the city of Mason from 2015 with an approximate population of 32,500 residents to today's population of over 35,600. And whereas by said service, Kathy Grossman has demonstrated leadership, enthusiasm, energy, and strong convictions, and her contributions and dedication to the city of Mason during her service as council member and mayor has had a profound impact on the well-being of this community. Now therefore, be it unanimously resolved by the Council of the City of Mason, Ohio, Section 1, that Kathy Grossman is hereby given commendation of the City of Mason Council for her outstanding and distinguished service to said city. Section 2, that the Mason Clerk of Council be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of this resolution to Kathy Grossman. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading. Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt. Okay, any council discussion? I would definitely like to say this. I think, well, we've had some elected officials here this evening and some that are still out here in the audience. And I have to say, it's very difficult to be in the public eye and try to serve your community in the best way that you know how. And all of us have experienced that. And I think I do want to commend Councilmember Grossman for her perseverance and her commitment, and also for her hard work, because I know she has worked hard. And I think it's something that we all sometimes take for granted and think it's really easy to sit up here and do this and take criticism from people, but it is a very difficult job. I just want to say thank you, Councilmember Grossman. I know it's tough and it's hard, and you have done a very good job, and you have worked very hard, and so I appreciate it. Does anybody else would like to say anything? Okay, then I'm just going to ask if is everybody all in favor? Yes. Anyone opposed? Okay. I think we have some gifts, right? Okay. I think we have some gifts, and then I think we'll do a council picture. Or do you want us to get up here now? Or okay, everyone. Commissioner Grossman was asking me about having pictures. We're going to do that after we do the next resolution for Councilmember Bradburn. We're going to have a little bit of like a 5-10 minute recess so that you all can get your pictures and do that kind of thing then. So, okay, we will go on to item number 9, which is Resolution 2023-31, and I'm going to ask Jeff to read this one as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolution 2023-31, commending Tony Bradburn for his outstanding dedication and service to the City of Mason, Ohio. Whereas Tony Bradburn has given dedicated service to the City of Mason, Ohio, serving as council member from November 2003 through November 2011, and again from December 2019 through November 2023. And whereas throughout his current term, Tony Bradburn has attended 63 council meetings and certified 486 ordinances and 107 resolutions. And whereas Tony Bradburn has served as an active member of employee relations, finance, policy and legislation, public services, safety, and wellness committees. And whereas Tony Bradburn served as council representative on Warren County Municipal League from December 2019 through November 2020 during his time as a council member. And whereas through Tony Bradburn's leadership, the Mason Fire Department has become a premier department in the region, and his support in the development of the fire department's strategic plan will ensure its future success. And whereas through Tony Bradburn's guidance as part of the Safety Committee, and its commitment to enhancing safety services in Mason, the City of Mason has been ranked the 2nd safest city and 4th best place to live for families in the United States. And whereas Tony Bradburn's support of the development of the Mason Municipal Aquatic Center, including the outdoor leisure pool and enclosed 50-meter pool, have enhanced Mason's complement of community recreational amenities and led to Mason's commitment for teaching all residents to be safe in the water while growing aquatic programming throughout the region. And whereas Tony Bradburn's efforts toward the development of 2 wellness amenities in Mason, McKeno Park Common Ground Playground and Palmyra Dog Park, have furthered Mason's mission of building a culture of wellness in the community. And whereas by said service, Tony Bradburn has demonstrated leadership, enthusiasm, energy, and strong convictions, and his contributions and dedication to the city of Mason during his service as council member has had a profound impact on the well-being of this community. Now, therefore, be it unanimously resolved by the Council of the City of Mason, Ohio, Section 1, that Tony Bradburn is hereby given commendation of the City of Mason Council for his outstanding and distinguished service to said city. Section 2, that the Mason Clerk of Council be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of this resolution to Tony Bradburn. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law.
All right, thank you, Jeff. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, any council discussion? Yes, Councilmember Grossman.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to add to that how proud I have been to work with Councilmember Bradburn. He not only served from 2019 to today, but he served two terms prior to that. And it just goes to show you, when you have a wise and courageous leader making decisions on your behalf, you have things come to your city like fire and safety reform, which deeply impacted how the city operates. Tony was very dedicated to ensuring the safety and well-being of our firefighters in his first 2 terms, and that led to the hiring of Chief Moore. And Chief Moore brought his expertise to the incident command structure and implemented that at the City of Mason, which is practiced all the time at our special events like Red Rhythm and Boom, our parades and all of that, but it also made the city pandemic ready. And seamlessly, our staff was able to cope with the changes that were brought on in the pandemic in 2020. I'm just so proud that I got to work with him and learn from him. We all bring areas of expertise and talents and gifts. God made us all different. But when you put a team of people together, you can accomplish great things. And I just want to thank you, Councilmember Bradburn. I've really been proud to be on your team. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to make a comment? I'm looking at Tony, you're looking at me, are you going to?
Mayor, I know we're going to go ahead and take pictures, and we're going to take a break, but there is one individual I want to acknowledge while we're up here.
Okay.
When we go down and
Oh, okay.
maybe to show the beginnings of my political career.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. You want to, okay.
No.
Okay.
No. I thought we'd go
When we do it, when we go down?
down for
Okay.
the picture.
Okay, okay,
Might want to bring that individual up.
okay. Would anyone else like to make a comment?
No.
I just really want to also emphasize the same things that Councilmember Grossman said. I know Tony's passion is definitely the fire department and the police department, and there has been some big reforms and big changes made through the years, and I think that your dedication to that has really helped enhance our department. And 12 years is a lot to serve on council. I haven't quite gotten there yet. I don't know if I'll make it, but no. But I think it's great, and I congratulate you. I appreciate it very much, your service as well. The same goes as for what I said previously with Councilmember Grossman. It's very difficult to be a public servant, an elected official, and try to do what you think is right, because not everybody always agrees, but we appreciate it very much. And I want to say congratulations. Okay, I am going to just ask for an all in favor. Yes. Anyone opposed? Okay, I think we'll go down and we'll have a picture together, and then afterwards we are going to have a brief recess, I think, for about 10 minutes maybe, and that way you all have plenty of time to get some other pictures together, and if you need to go or whatever, you can do that.
Just take a few minutes. Yeah, okay. I can probably scream loud enough. Politics all has a beginning, and my beginning in politics was in the city of Springdale. And in the audience tonight is the wife of a council member I served on Springdale. He used to come up here to Mason Council and actually compliment council, which is very unusual. Pat, Nell, could you come on up?
You get a big flag.
Yeah, no. Her husband introduced me to politics in Springdale back to probably about 1978.
At least.
At least, okay. Her husband was a pillar of strength in the Springdale community as far as fair play and honesty, and I learned a lot from her husband. He would come up here to council and compliment Mason Council, because he moved up to Mason. You guys moved up to Mason about, what, 1990?
Yeah.
1990. And it's very rare that people come up and compliment what you're doing while you're on council, and her husband would do that. Okay, so Pat, thank you for your husband's leadership and your leadership and your families.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay. Pat, can you ever say a woman's age? How old are you?
93.
There you go. I thank everybody for their time.
Okay, we will take a small recess here. I guess we'll reconvene about 20 after, I guess. It's almost 10 after, if that clock's correct. So you all can have an opportunity to get your pictures and everything. Okay. Okay, I think we're going to get started if everyone's ready. Okay, we have already completed item 10, so we're going to go to item 11, which is Resolution 2023-33. I need a motion to read by title only, please.
So moved.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff.
Recognizing Saturday, November 25th, as Small Business Saturday in Mason.
Okay, I need, wait a minute. Are you reading this?
Did I do the wrong one?
No.
That's right.
Are you reading it in full, though?
Oh, I'm reading the whole thing?
Yeah, I think you are. I'm sorry.
All right, this is Resolution 2023-33, recognizing Saturday, November 25th, as Small Business Saturday in Mason. Whereas Mason is home to a growing, eclectic mix of small businesses that enhance the quality of life and create a vibrant sense of community and connection, and whereas small businesses remain an important economical component and significant avenue for building community pride, and whereas the City of Mason celebrates local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas, according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, there are 32.5 million small businesses in the United States that are responsible for 62% of net new jobs created since 1995 and employ 46.8% of employees in the private sector. And whereas the City of Mason is offering initiatives such as the Come Together Mason e-gift card program, the Shop Small Holiday Passport, and the Shop Local event on Wednesday, November 15th to encourage the community to support small businesses this holiday season. And whereas the City of Mason encourages the community to continue to shop at small businesses and support Small Business Saturday on Saturday, November 25th, 2023. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mason, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring, Section 1, that the Council of the City of Mason hereby designates and proclaims November 25th as Small Business Saturday in Mason. Section 2, that this resolution shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law.
All right, thank you, Jeff. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Okay, item 12, ordinance 2023-88. This is a second reading. I need a motion to read by title only.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Directing and authorizing the city manager and finance director to commence funding and development for 2023 Gould Park development in accordance with Gould Family Trust contract, deed covenants and restrictions, and 2004 Parks Master Plan.
Okay, I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, any council discussion? Yes, Councilmember Grossman.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to amend the original ordinance 2023-88 to the amendment that we have prepared today as a substitution for the original document. Council was given that information by email, I believe, last Wednesday. And I wanted to let the public know, in addition to making this motion, that the mayor and I and our law director, our city manager, and Kurt Seiler all met, and the staff wrote this amended document that we recommend for adoption. So we'll have to go ahead and have a second and a roll call on that motion for amendment.
I think we're going to read it first, though. Are we going to put it up on the screen?
Like us to place the language on the screens?
Yes, please, if you could, so the public can see what we came up with in substitution for the original ordinance 2023-88. And I believe the law director, are you going to?
Well, do you want to do it? Okay. Do you want to read it?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
So this, what I'm going to read is what's up on the screen, and this is essentially substitute language for the entire ordinance. It would, pursuant to the amendment, it would now be titled, Directing the City Manager to Pursue Recreational System Planning to Include Gould Park. Whereas the City of Mason has approximately 301 acres of developed parkland distributed throughout the city, and whereas the City of Mason acquired approximately 50.74 acres of additional parkland at 5475 Mason Road in 2003 at a purchase price of $1,826,640, which is $36,000 an acre, to secure future park development opportunities. And whereas the 2004 Park Master Plan and new park design was developed through a community engagement process, considering then current recreation participation trends to accommodate future demands for development of additional parkland. And whereas the 2004 Park Master Plan and new park design suggested developing the former Gould property as a park with one softball field, one volleyball court, one basketball court, 2 tennis courts, 1 restroom building, 1 playground, 4,200 feet of bicycle trail, 3,400 feet of walking trail, 3 separate parking areas for 75 cars total, 1 retention pond, 1 15-station fitness course, 3 separate picnic areas, and an event lawn. And whereas on December 11th of 2023, the City of Mason will host an official event on site to name the property as Gould Park and preview a new public seating area connected to the citywide pedestrian network of sidewalks. And whereas council recognizes that developing Gould Park will increase connectivity of areas surrounding the park to the downtown Mason Mile for pedestrian and bike traffic from residential neighborhoods through Gould Park, which enhances the City of Mason's mission to build a culture of wellness. And whereas the Mason City Council recognizes the need to update citywide recreation system planning to identify areas of investment needed both within existing parkland and for development of additional parkland. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Mason, Ohio, members elected thereto concurring, Section 1, that the city manager is hereby directed to pursue recreational system planning, including future development of Gould Park. Section 2, that this ordinance shall take effect and be enforced from and after the earliest period allowed by law.
Okay, thank you. I do need a motion to amend.
I'll make the.
I think Councilmember Grossman has
Made the
made the
You
motion.
made the
He'll
motion.
just
I'm
need a
sorry, I
second.
need a second. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. Can we continue discussion at this point or go?
I mean, typically on a motion to amend, there's not discussion, but there's
Okay.
certainly, it's council's prerogative. But
Well, we can do it after we vote to
Right.
amend it. Okay, so now I need a vote to amend it. All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so now we need to vote on the ordinance as amended, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And there's already a motion to adopt on the floor, and now what you would be voting on is the ordinance as amended, essentially substituting what's up on the screen.
Okay, and we can continue council.
And you can continue council
Okay,
discussion.
does anyone else have any council discussion, or Councilmember Grossman, did you have anything else to add?
I would, if that's okay.
Okay.
These are questions for the city manager and our law director. Could you walk us through what action item in section 1 means? Can you just kind of walk us through what procedurally will take place if this were to pass today?
If this is adopted, then it becomes incumbent on me, and I'm going to delegate a lot of this, is to start a process of recreation system planning. How we fold that into our planning process and balance that other will probably be the first item of discussion as we end the year. I'd anticipate as we go into the new year, most of these type of planning process begin with an inventory, kind of needs assessment combined with an inventory. I would actually, let me back up. I would expect on this, we would be probably putting together, I'll look to Kurt or Jeff, an RFP to start gaining proposals, qualified consultants that could lead a process. Likely bring that to council for action. The scope of that proposal would likely include a needs assessment, an inventory of what we have, That would be system-wide with a special focus on Gould Park. That would be the most immediate steps, and then that, how that process unfolds kind of depends on what you uncover as you go through it. So, Kurt, anything to add?
So once staff has put together a request for a proposal and those have been handed in and staff evaluates the proposals, and they're basically bids for the project. And by the way, backing up just a little bit, staff will define what the scope of the project is for the proposal. The proposals are submitted, staff opens them up all at the same time, evaluates them. I think I'm getting this close anyway, and then makes recommendations to council with a brief report on the quality of each proposal. And so at that point, it will require another vote of council, correct? Because it would most likely cost more than $50,000?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, so if this is adopted, that's something that we would watch for in the next 3 to 6 months, would you say?
3 to 6 months of the new year.
Yes, correct. Okay, okay. And again, I want to thank Mayor Spaeth for taking the time to meet with me and our staff. This amendment was written by our city manager, so it's in city manager speak, much more so than it was in my voice, but it accomplishes the same goal, which is to get the project started. And that takes a very long time. Planning takes a while, and ground won't be broken for a long time, of course, but that all hinges on whether or not this is adopted tonight. And council, I truly hope that you'll support this ordinance with a yes vote. Thank you.
Okay, would anyone else like to have any comments, council discussion? I too appreciated that we were able to sit down and finally work out an ordinance that's going to start moving this forward. I do want everyone, it's okay if I announce this, right? Or just remind everybody. I think this has already been announced, but Gould Park naming ceremony is going to be Monday, December 11th at 5 p.m. at Gould Park. In honor of Eleanor Gould's 100th birthday, we will be coming back here immediately following that and having, I guess, are we going to have cake? Have a little birthday celebration for her 100th, it would have been her 100th birthday. So December 11th at 5 p.m. at Gould Park, and then immediately following that, we'll come back here for a reception prior to the city council meeting at 7 p.m. So I am excited that we are finally going to move this forward. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, so now I will ask for the roll call.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We are on to item 13. Ordinance 2023-90. I need a motion to read by title only, please.
Second?
Okay, all in
Second.
favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Jeff?
Approval of the replat for World Subdivision, Section 4.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and members of council. This is a replat for the Mosaic subdivision. This is really just the first portion of the residential portion of the development. It's 18 single-family lots, 21 condo units, and it also dedicates the right-of-way and easements necessary for the roads and utilities. This went to the July 5th Planning Commission meeting, is now ready for council to consider. It was recommended for approval by Planning Commission with submission of the, with contingent on submission of the subdivider's contract and performance bond. And with that, ordinance 2023-90 is recommended for adoption.
All right, thank you, Kurt. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
Moved?
Second.
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Okay, item 14, ordinance 2023-91. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Approval of the replat for Lot 20A in Fallingbrook, Phase A14.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you. This is also a replat, and that's not a typo in the write-up. It actually was recommended for approval by Planning Commission 2007. We did a kind of a blanket approval back then with Planning Commission. These are in the Fallingbrook subdivision. These are land dominiums, and the state requires that each time a unit is built, they get surveyed, and so the replats come back just to break up each of the land dominium units. I believe this is the last replat in that subdivision, so from 2007 till now, that development is complete. So with that, Planning Commission staff recommend approval of the replat, and ordinance 2023-91 is recommended for adoption.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved?
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spade?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023-92, a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Jeff?
Approval of the final plat for the Estates of Mason subdivision.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you. This is a small subdivision off of Coxsmith Road, just west of State Route 741. It consists of six single-family lots. It's zoned R3, and the developer would be required to extend the sanitary and water to these houses. The 6 lots will have 3 shared driveways off of Coxsmith Road because it's a collector street to try to limit the driveways. And what this plat does is just dedicate the right-of-way. We had right-of-way out there. Some of it was right-of-way easement, and this just makes it dedicated right-of-way. And then also the easements needed for the utilities to the development. This was also at the November 8th meeting and recommended for approval contingent on submission of the performance bond and subdivider's contract. So with that, ordinance 2023-92 is recommended for adoption.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? A motion to adopt?
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Mayor Spade?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Okay, item 16, ordinance 2023-93. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Jeff?
Approval of the record plat for Grace Baptist Church of Mason, Lot 1.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you. This plat is just basically the consolidation of 5 parcels into one larger lot. That'll be just over 11-acre lot, Lot 1 in the Grace Baptist Church subdivision. And it also dedicates right-of-way along Mason Road, which was also obtained by easement, and this will make it dedicated right-of-way. This went to the November 8th meeting as well and is recommended for adoption, ordinance 2023-93.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved. Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? A motion to adopt, please.
So moved.
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spade?
Yes. Okay, item 17, ordinance 2023-94. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Approval of the record plat for J.G. Hancock subdivision.
Okay, Kurt?
Yes, thank you. This is located at the Course-View Drive and Kings Mills Road intersection. This would be the northwest corner of that intersection. There's a parcel that'll be just over 12-acre, almost 13-acre parcel. It'll be broken into 2 lots. The lot 2 being a 2.6-acre lot for a new gas station facility. This also includes shared access easements and utility easements off of Course-View Drive. And the access will be from that Kings Mills Course-View intersection. There's also planned improvements for a deceleration lane into that intersection as well. This plat establishes necessary easements needed for the development and also went to the November 8th Planning Commission meeting. So ordinance 2023-94 is recommended for adoption.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Item 18, ordinance 2023-95. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
An ordinance levying special assessments for the purpose of acquiring and constructing certain sewer and related improvements in the city, Mosaic.
Okay, Kurt, I'm going to give you a break and ask Eric to do this one.
Mayor, I'd actually like to address the next two together, and perhaps the briefest explanation is these both help Dorothy Lane move forward. The more subtle explanation is this is part of the original arrangement. Council had passed some preparatory legislation on this earlier this year. Part of the financing to help both components of this mixed-use development, both the residential and the commercial, which includes Dorothy Lane Markets, is to allow special assessments, which will pay for some of the public improvements that otherwise the developer may have paid up front. So this allows those assessments to be placed on the property tax bill of the residents and the commercial entities that join the development. So instead of paying it up front, they're able to put on their tax bill. The city does the bonds to provide for the improvements. This was part of the original financing structure and helps Dorothy Lane as well as the entire development stay on track. Both are recommended for adoption.
All right, thank you, Eric. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
So moved?
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Okay, item 19, ordinance 2023-96. A motion to read by title only, please.
Moved?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
An ordinance levying special assessments for the purpose of acquiring and constructing certain sewer and related improvements in the city, Western Row.
Okay, Eric just discussed this one, so I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? A motion to adopt?
Second?
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Okay, item 20, ordinance 2023-97. A motion to read by title only.
So moved?
Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease expansion agreement with Geneticist LLC.
Okay, Eric?
Yes, Mayor, I wish I'm not going to be able to duplicate what our guest earlier did when Vineet was able to speak to his business, because I'm not as young or as smart as he is. But if you could remember that excitement that he brought to the meeting with the success, his company, his appreciation, I thought he did just a very flattering job of expressing for the city of Mason. One of the unique things is that the city of Mason, his company started in the Mason Tech elevator, became one of the successes there, and then has leased space just right across the hall from here for their lab, their R&D lab that many of you have had a chance to visit. We secured that lease 3 years ago, and with some negotiation have secured a 5-year lease to expand it by those 2 years, so an additional 5 years that they would continue to lease the space across from here. They continue at the Mason Tech Elevator where their growth is, but having their R&D lab here gives us a great profile for the type of folks it brings in from across academic, business, medicine, that visit the Municipal Center here to see our featured company as a biohealth, part of our biohealth adventures. That 5-year lease will continue the job creation, the payroll growth that Genesis has brought. It does generate revenue for the city, about $120,000 in lease revenues over the 5-year term. It also, the terms are negotiated with a one-time credit for the tenant improvements, about $91,000 that they'll be investing in the facilities across the hall that will remain part of the city's facility. So this brings a lot of wins. Those are just some of the immediate material ones. The real significant one is that we're able to attract the type of profile, the type of enthusiasm and exposure to geneticists and that entire industry, which is of key interest to us in our larger economic development goals. So this, the Economic Development Committee did review this. They recommend adoption.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Okay, item 21, ordinance 2023-98. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement for participation in Cincy Tech USA in an amount not to exceed $50,000 per year.
Okay, Eric?
Yes, and again, Mike Venerable spoke earlier, thanking the city for our track record here. We are fairly unique in municipalities in our participation in Cincy Tech. These perhaps may be backward. Geneticist is a very concrete example of the success that our partnership with Cincy Tech brings. They are a early stage investor based on a public-private partnership to strengthen the regional economy, driving and increasing capital in scalable investable technology companies in Southwest Ohio. We've enjoyed considerable success, not just geneticists. Other current Cincy Tech companies within Mason is Assurex Health, now known as Myriad, Clarigent, Geneticists, and Include Fitness. Our partnership with Cincy Tech that has strengthened both the city's brand, our exposure in the area, as well as exposure in the field that Cincy Tech pursues. Economic Development Committee reviewed the Cincy Tech reinvestment proposal. We discussed the impacts that we anticipate to continue to have both in Mason's early stage company as well as our BioHub economic development strategy. And they recommended continuing that partnership at an amount not to exceed $50,000 per year for up to 5 years.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Okay, item 22, ordinance 2023-99. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement for participation in the Regional Economic Development Initiative, Ready Cincinnati, in an amount not to exceed $50,000 per year.
Okay, Eric?
Thank you, Mayor. This is kind of in the string here. Geneticists is the, is our immediate ability. Cincy Tech is kind of our, one of the niche economic development areas. Ready is the umbrella for the region for collaborative economic development. They work, it stands for Regional Economic Development Initiative. It is the economic development entity for Southwest Ohio that interacts with the state of Ohio. So their focus tends to be on global, international development, of which Mason is also a great recipient. We are also unique and Ready that we are one of only 2 cities, Mason Cincinnati that have participated since early, before it was even called Ready, when it was the Cincinnati-U.S. Partnership, began in 2001. Since that time, we've grown our global business base. We're home to many domestic as well as foreign companies, and we have one of the region's largest complements of international businesses. Ready is how I characterize it. We are a leader in the region as the City of Mason, and Ready is the entity that leaders in the region are a part of, as part of our, I guess, dues, you could say, or the expectation as one of the leading entities within Southwest Ohio to participate directly in Ready. And that's what our contribution over the years has allowed us to do. A couple of data points that I thought were interesting and maybe pertinent to this. Within the Southwest Ohio region, Mason represents about 1.5% of the total population. However, we're competing well above that weight class because we host 15% of the region's advanced manufacturing and about 24% of the region's biohealth companies, even though we're only 1.5%. That represents both our posture in the region as well as the leadership that Ready asks us to make. Another data point, hold on a moment, I'll find that one. Within the last 3-year cycle, well, Ready so far this year has helped to catalyze about 1,800 new jobs, $618 million in new capital investment throughout the region. They don't just do this for Mason, they work for counties, municipalities, chambers throughout Southwest Ohio. Mason, within the last 3-year cycle, had new job creation of about 750 jobs and new capital investment of $424 million, just within, again, our small piece of that. So I think what you're seeing with Ready, the larger story is we're a relatively small population piece of Southwest Ohio when you look at the greater area. But the leadership, the exposure, the economic development that we bring is significant throughout the entire region. And Ready asks us to be a significant part of that through this partnership. Finally, for 2023, I think where we all experience pretty directly a lot of the benefits, indirect benefits of being linked in with Ready is the success for the entire region, for the entire state in securing the Western and Southern Open. Ready at multiple levels was significant in that effort, as were several other partners throughout the state, the county, Cincinnati, Hamilton County. There are too many to list, but Ready was the umbrella for that. Again, the Economic Development Committee discussed our partnership, the reinvestment proposal from Ready, and recommend continuing at an amount not to exceed $50,000 per year for up to 5 years, which is contained in Ordinance 2023-99.
Okay, thank you, Eric. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? A motion to adopt?
Moved?
Second?
Okay, any council discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes?
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 23, ordinance 2023-100, motion to read by title only.
Moved. Second?
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Flock Safety for the purchase and installation of Flock safety devices for the police department.
Okay, Jennifer?
Yes, Mayor, members of council, if you don't mind, I'd like to cover the next 2 pieces of legislation. They're both related to the operations of the Mason Police Department, and were being planned as part of the 2024 budget. However, vendors for both these purchases approached the city and warning us of significant cost increase that were being forecasted for 2024. They were also offering some discounts if we locked in a purchase yet this year. The first purchase was related to the Flock system. In 2022, council authorized the purchase, installation, and support of a system which consists of roughly 20 cameras located on major thoroughfares as well as public facilities and our parks. These cameras, when they detect a distinction that is attached to a vehicle, such as an active warrant, a stolen vehicle, stolen license plate, a registered sex offender, registered violent offender, or missing persons, they alert law enforcement. The effectiveness of the system is dependent on it being more than just within our jurisdiction, but throughout other neighboring jurisdictions, county, the state of Ohio, as well as across the United States. Information that is captured by the system is not stored by the city, nor can Flock Safety share or sell the information. After 30 days, the information is permanently deleted for privacy and security purposes. Flock Security anticipates a 20% increase in pricing next year. They are offering that if we lock in a contract now, they'll honor existing prices for maintenance and new cameras, with a 5-year commitment before the end of the year. In addition, the second piece of legislation replaces energy units that were planned as part of 2024. Axon, the vendor for these units, is recommending the purchase be made to avoid, again, significant cost increases for 2024. They also are offering a buyback option on our existing units at approximate value of $17,500 towards the purchase of the new units. Staff are recommending a 5-year contract for this purchase as well for ongoing maintenance of these units. The city is very fortunate to have flexibility in the 2023 budget, and to be able to move forward, we are recommending both Ordinance 2023-100 and 2023-101 to avoid the projected cost increases in 2024. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? I need a motion to adopt.
Moved.
Second?
Okay, any council discussion? Yes.
Yeah, real quick, I think it was in the summertime when there was a pursuit, and they came through the city of Mason, and a lot of times people think these cameras are kind of big brother. I'm not a big fan of the government always, overseeing and looking, but this actually worked perfectly, and we were able to apprehend someone that was coming from far away, Colorado, where was it? Texas, maybe? It was Texas, and they were coming through Mason, and this system alerted them, and immediately our police officers were able to find the car, apprehend the person, and what they were wanted for it was pretty serious crime. So in regards to this, a lot of times people think, this is a system that we can track, but the information that, everything is deleted after 30 days, and it's encouraging. And I think, to our point that we're the second safest small city in the country, it's because of forward thinking like this and being able to implement this type of strategy to make sure that bad guys don't come here. So good job to the staff for getting in early and saving us some money on these also.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes. Okay, item 24, ordinance 2023-101. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Move. Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Axon Enterprises for the purchase of 51 TASER units for the police department.
Okay, a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? A motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Okay, item 25, ordinance 2023-102. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract or contracts with a music entertainment agency or agencies in a total amount not to exceed $150,000 for entertainment artists for the 2024 Red Rhythm and Boom concert.
Okay, Eric?
Yes, Mayor, again, I'd like to address the next two ordinances, 102 and 103. They are related. In fact, they're really a package deal. You don't want to do one without the other. It does have to do with Red Rhythm Boom Entertainment. Ordinance 2023-102 authorizes $150,000 for the city to pursue both an opening act and a headline artist for the 2024 Red Rhythm Boom event. The city has a history of initiating this search process at this point in time to begin looking for acts. We typically seek out entertainment options that provide a good value, both in the pricing, appeal to a family-focused atmosphere, but also feature current popular artists. That is our intent to continue that again. The ordinance is worded such that it allows the city to deal with the kind of flexible environment. It allows us to pursue artists through the different management agreements. So this may be one, it may be multiple vendors in order to secure the right combination of entertainment. That is recommended. The companion ordinance is 2023-103. That's for the stage and entertainment production. When you have an artist of the caliber that would reach those levels, excuse me, both stage, sound, video, the LED screens that we use at Red Rhythm Boom, both the lighting and the stage production must meet a pretty high caliber, more than the city by herself could provide for these type of acts. This allows us to contract with a group such as Frequency City Sound, which we have considerable success with, to excuse me, to provide those needs in support of the Red Rhythm Boom event. Historically, that has run about $150,000. We do believe next year that this amount will need to increase to $160,000 in 2024. It does include the elevated video screens that I know many in the audience appreciate, especially as the event has grown in attendance. Both of these ordinances are recommended for adoption. The way this process works is that the city, as we look at next year's budget, so the budget for 2024, is when we include amounts for the following year's entertainment and stage production. We do have some sense, we discussed this briefly with the Finance Committee, want to consider it further, but we may be looking at just that schedule in order to attract the highest caliber of bands by maybe moving the legislative action earlier in the year. So we'll have more details on that later, but I could anticipate before Red Rhythm Boom 2024, we may be asking for authorization of entertainment for Red Rhythm Boom 2025 in order to secure the best price. Both ordinances are recommended and allow us to begin the planning timeline necessary to move forward in a quality event for next year, July 3rd.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 26, ordinance 2023-103. I need a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, Jeff?
Authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with Frequency City Sound in an amount not to exceed $160,000 to provide the stage, sound, lights, and video screens for the 2024 Red Rhythm and Boom concert.
Okay, and Eric's discussed this one, so we need a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, a motion to adopt.
Second.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Okay, before we go on to committee reports, I just want to say, I know for the audience here and even our audience that's watching at home, I want everyone to get it. We've said this over and over, but it probably looks like we just kind of blow through these things really quickly and we don't know we're like, how could we possibly even vote on it at this point? But we get mounds and mounds of information prior to council meetings, and we have ample opportunity to ask questions of our staff beforehand. So that's why we are able to kind of just go through these so quickly without a lot of discussion. So I hope people think that we are not making informed decisions, because we do try very hard to do that. So we will go on now to item 27, which are the committee reports. Does anybody have a committee report? Councilmember Hackey.
Sure about that? Thank you, Mayor. Real quick, Safety Committee met again since our last meeting. And one of the things we've heard about from some of the other topics earlier were the fire department working on its strategic plan. They brought people in from the public. They brought in a professional organization to come and assist with this process. And one of the things they wanted to do is find out what the residents felt was the most important thing to work on for the fire department. And hands down, response times was their number one concern. So as part of the strategic plan, that is what we're starting to focus on. There's a lot of work to do yet, but that's where some of the efforts are going to be, well, the vast majority of the efforts out of the strategic plan are going to be taking place. So that's all I have for, yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Councilmember Chance? Oh.
What are you going to say? I was just going to say economic development. I know we had Ready and Cincy Tech in our packet tonight, and anytime I get a chance to give Michelle Blair accolades, I know that pains Mr. Hansen, but, you know, we look at, you know, if you really look at these numbers, and we get a really deep dive in behind the scenes of what we're able to accomplish with our economic development strategy. And it's safe to say, I think we do it better than anyone in the country. Being able to partner with these folks and having the type of relationships that we have make it real easy for us to be able to attract the type of businesses that we want. And so a lot of times that you see that and you wonder, what exactly does that give you? And it is, I would actually like to put together some numbers just to show through those type of relationships. Like I said, we get to see it and understand it, and it's absolutely phenomenal what we're able to do just through those relationships. So I just wanted to, you know, kind of not clear the air, but give a little more, although Eric did a really nice job describing both of those. It's just exciting because, you know, we sit up here, but it's really the heavy lifting by our economic development team and their strategy of how they go about attracting these companies and these businesses. And it's not only attracting them, but the retention that we're able to accomplish here in the city is pretty amazing too. When you look at a company that, you know, they could look elsewhere, look for different facilities, but they choose to stay here. And there's some companies that have expanded 5, 6, 8 times to stay here in Mason. And that's really major kudos to our economic development team, strategy, and staff for what you guys do. So thank you guys for doing that. I mean, because like I said, I think that separates ourselves from a lot of other communities here, and not only Southwest Ohio, but I think in the country. Did I steal your thunder? Good.
Okay, Councilmember Stricula.
Thanks. Yeah, I was going a completely different direction. With Finance Committee, METS, we had our first kind of meeting on the budget for 2024. We covered a lot, but we still have a lot more work to do yet. You know, mainly talked about kind of decrease in revenue for this year and projections going forward, being very conservative with those estimates. How that kind of plays into some of the capital improvement projects that, you know, we were hoping to do, timing that with also some grants and things like that from the state of Ohio, things that we have to do, things that we can segment and push off. We'll probably have 1 to 2 more committee meetings before we finalize the budget, or at least get a first draft done. But we're hoping to have all of that done pre-Thanksgiving and then have that draft done the week after Thanksgiving for us to review and hopefully for a vote in December. It's kind of the goal. So. We did have, and one other thing, we did have a couple guests that were here. They left just a little bit ago. So I encourage everybody to come. I mean, they're interesting meetings for me, but not for everybody. But yeah, if you have an opportunity to come by some of those finance committee meetings, you can kind of get to see some of the nuts and bolts of what we do. So I always encourage that.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have a?
Mayor?
Yes.
We had our last Veterans Committee meeting before the Veterans Day ceremony, and I just want to say I'm just super proud of the committee, and I'm super proud of staff for the tremendous amount of work that went into the 20th year rededication of the Veterans Memorial. Just a couple things that we put in this year that were different. We put the Gold Star Monument in, and the Gold Star benches, the Purple Heart Monument, Never Forget Garden, new lighting, new bricks, new landscaping, and I'm sure I'm missing some of it, but it was a phenomenal ceremony. And we also had Shiloh Harris come in from Texas, and let me just grab his information. I'm just going to tell you real quick. He served 2 deployments with the 10th Mountain Division as part of the U.S. war in Iraq, and his armored vehicle was struck by an explosive device, and he was severely injured. And the story kind of talked about how he overcame what had happened, as well as the outlook on life, and he was very inspiring. And it was a beautiful speech. It was a beautiful ceremony. And I just want to say thank you to the city for all your hard work, because it really was a lot of work for you guys. So,
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Committee report. Okay, we'll go to item 28, old and new business. Before I ask anyone else if they have anything, I believe we have an appointment for the Mason Port Authority. Terry Hanlon, do you want to give any background on who Terry is?
I don't have her bio. She is one of the top executives at one of our significant partners at TriHealth. And she has had a stellar track record there, is very familiar with Mason, with our partnership. We have had opportunities to work with Terry at multiple times, including with tennis. She has been a great partner. Obviously, TriHealth is a great partner, and she's been a great advocate with them.
Okay, great. So I need a motion for that, please.
Make the motion. Second appointment.
All right, thank you. All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay. So does anyone else have any old new business? Yes, Councilmember Hackey.
Here, let me do this for you. Help. Sorry, I was just kidding. All right. Yeah, several things. I want to piggyback on what the Vice Mayor talked about with the Veterans Ceremony. I kind of went off script and made people a little nervous during the ceremony, but it was to thank all of those who were so heavily involved in all the work on the monument, the memorial. I mentioned Eric, Jennifer, Jenna, and Steve, but I missed Chief Farrell, and he was very instrumental in a lot of the work that was done out there. And I know he's not here tonight, but I'm sure in his free time he's going to pull up this video and watch it, and we'll know that I'm recognizing him tonight. But so many other people were involved. I do want to thank my fellow board of Veterans Affairs members, the Vice Mayor, Councilmember Stricula, John Looker, Roger Heron. For us, this was a labor of love, and it's just the work that was done out there. I think it's second to none. There's a lot of veterans memorials out there. I think ours really shines. So thank you to everybody who was involved in that. Also, want to give a shout out to the American Legion and the VFW. They were the honor guard, and they did an amazing job. They teamed up and brought the two together to do both activities, which was just amazing. The other thing I had, where did it go? Oh, congratulations, Scott, and Joy. Joy wasn't able to be here tonight, but very excited, looking forward to working with you over the next at least 2 years. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else have any? Yes, Councilmember Stricula.
Yeah, I'm just going to talk again about the rededication of the Veterans Memorial and the compliments that I got on staff and the work that they did. I mean, that was probably one of the most beautiful ceremonies that I've sat through. and been honored to be a part of. And it just, it was amazing. And so just thank you, all of you, for the work that you did to make that happen. And it really was something. So thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
I would just like to officially thank Councilmember Hackey and Councilmember Stricula for your service. I know that is, my father's a retired colonel in the Air Force, so I've had the ability to be pretty close to that. But your service, your dedication to the country, and then what you're doing now, I think that just speaks so loudly. And then you guys serve along with Vice Mayor Nelson on what you guys were able to do and the compliments that we received as well. I mean, I don't want to, you stole my thunder this time, but absolutely amazing. I mean, it was, the weather couldn't have been any better. It was just a phenomenal, it was surreal. It was heartfelt. It had every emotion possible from, funny to, the real life of combat. And it was just absolutely well done, and honored to be a part of it and watch what we're able to extend our gratitude to our veterans. So again, thank you guys also for your service. Greatly appreciate you.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to thank all of those who participated in the Veterans Day ceremony and the rededication of our newly renovated memorial. I am so sorry I couldn't go. I was disappointed. I had a death in the family. I just couldn't get away. But I understand it was absolutely beautiful, of course, from your comments tonight. But I heard from friends who attended that they really enjoyed it and were so grateful. And I wish you happy belated Veterans Day, Council Members Hackey and Stricula, and I thank you that you're still on active duty serving our veterans today. I appreciate that very much. Dan, our clerk, also doubles as an events planner for the city of Mason, and you looked a little worried when we were adopting ordinances for Red Rhythm and Boom. No, he looked excited. He is so good at it. And so he gets better and better every year. He plans our plaza events in the summer, and I think the music at the Golf Center, and he just does a great job. And I'm sure you're working on the plaza event for Christmas, for the tree lighting ceremony on December 1. Don't forget about that. So I think it's really neat that he has so many unique abilities that he shares with us. Thank you for that, Dan, and thanks for your service here to our council. I, too, would like to congratulate our newly elected council members, Councilmembers-elect Gibson and Bennett and Stricula. Congratulations. I brought some chocolates for you. You're really going to need them. But Miss Bennett isn't here, so we'll get that to her. You will need some once in a while, a little pick-me-up. Thank you, council and staff, for a lovely farewell. I'm truly grateful. Thank you for the hard work that you've all put in, your passion for the city and for the public. Thank you for helping me grow. I learned a lot. Some of the lessons were very hard, but I have lots of memories here. Some I may need therapy for, but they were good memories and hard memories alike, but nonetheless, they helped me grow. And the beautiful thing about an ending is that it allows space for a new beginning. So I wish you all the best and great new beginnings. Sometimes endings are sad because it symbolizes the death of a new beginning, but we can't have more new beginnings, can we, without an ending? So I borrowed that from an author called Peter Scazzaro. It's a book called The Emotionally Healthy Leader. I recommend that you all read it. It's a beautiful book, and it will help you grow like it helped me. Anyway, I thank you very much. And I'm just excited that it's time for a new beginning. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you all for your service and time with me. I'll miss you.
Okay, anyone else? Mayor, I just have
Yes.
something quick. The National League of Cities, Small Cities Council has their final meeting this week, and I will be in attendance, and I know I've been teasing you guys for quite some time, but the Small Business Administration will be there talking to us about how to attract small businesses into your community, and once they are in your community, how you can keep them. And also, they are going to be talking about arts within your community, which I'm passionate about, and I will be sharing our story of what we just did with the Art Hop and how successful that was, both integrating our businesses as well as our community putting them together with art. So I'll be telling them that story. But I will bring back more information on what happens in the meeting in our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I just want to say just a couple things. I feel like there's always so many events going on that I get frustrated, but I get frustrated in a good way because you want to go to all of them and you just can't. So you have to pick and choose what you get to go to. And this weekend was one of those weekends. There were so many things going on, and even with school events and all kinds of things. We had the Kiwanis breakfast was on Saturday before the Veterans rededication, the Veterans Memorial rededication. And it was really nice this year. The city of Mason partnered with Kiwanis and paid for any veterans breakfast that wanted to attend, which I thought was really awesome that you all did that. We all did that. Also, the Royal Theater had one of their children's plays, and I always encourage you if you can go because those kids are just spectacular. I mean, and this year the kids were ages from 6, I think, to 17. Isn't that what she said? That's pretty amazing. But I also want to talk about this Veterans Memorial rededication ceremony just briefly. I mean, it was so touching and so emotional. We also had the privilege of having Rick Armstrong, who is Neil Armstrong's son. Neil was at the original Veterans Memorial dedication. So it was really nice to have his son there to also say some things about our memorial. And Shiloh, oh my gosh, Shiloh Harris is just an amazing person, so inspirational. I just don't even know what to say. He's just amazing, the attitude he has in life after everything he's been through. And I just want to say this quote. This was on the back of our program. He said, "Everything in life is a gift. Sometimes it may not be the gift you want, but you realize that your challenges are a new beginning." And I just think that is just so inspirational. And I just wish that we could get Shiloh back again soon. He was so great. So that's all I have on old and new business. We're to item 29, which is a recognition of visitors. Is there anyone that wanted to come up to the podium now and address council? Yes.
So, again, Tom Grossman. Do I need to do my address again? 4533 Morris Court, Mason, Ohio. So I spoke about my wife, obviously, but now I stand for Tony. So I served with Tony for 6 years. He joined council in 2003 when I was on council. I joined it in 2001. I became the vice mayor in 2005 and the mayor in 2007. For 6 years, we served together. Tony is one of the most courageous, blunt-spoken council members I've served with. And he was always careful in his positions, but he was frequently very plain-spoken, and he was always courageous. Sometimes courageous to the point of losing, and he would lose in a vote. I can remember the ticket tax. I don't know how many, because I wasn't here when that was ultimately voted on, I believe. But Tony, that was an excise tax that would have helped with roads around Kings Island and the beach. Tony lost that vote. But he never shirked from giving his opinion. He never shirked from saying what he thought was right. And I can remember he changed our fire department. He helped us to grow when he found that there were deficiencies in training. And he helped, and he knew more than all the rest of us about that. So Tony, thank you so much for your service. I always had respect and regard for you. I know that there were times, and I don't know many of you very well. But I know that all of you want to serve Mason, and I appreciate the fact that you've each stepped forward to do that. And I wanted Scott Gibson to run 2 years ago. He didn't. I'm glad that he won this time and ran. Joy Bennett, I don't know Joy very well. I think that on many issues I disagree with her, but she's tenacious, she has grit, she had perseverance and commitment, and I know that she will serve this city well too. Josh, I supported in 2017 and 2019. I think you've won again, Josh. I know it's close. But and there are probably hundreds of votes that have not been counted yet, but seldom does the vote change by more than 10 votes, so I'm confident that you will win re-election. You know, you probably won't ever hear from me again, and you don't need to hear from somebody like me again. And I will watch the Gould vote as you progress to plan that park. I think we voted on that in 2003. When I was on council before Tony joined, is when we entered into that contract to purchase, and we entered into the covenants that were restrictive and made it a passive park. I want to thank you tonight for your vote. And I would ask that you would proceed with that. And remember this, you know, obviously many of us have different perspectives on council, different opinions, but your discourse should always be professional. Dispute never has to be disagreeable or bitter. It always can be reasoned and based upon evidence and based upon kindness and goodwill, even when we disagree. And I know that this council has disagreed, and I know that many of you may have disagreed with me in the past about I don't know what all. But nevertheless, I commend you to be honorable to each other, to treat each other with respect and regard. And that does not mean you shouldn't disagree or dispute, but you can do it with professionalism, and I know that you all can do it. Mayor Spaeth, thank you so much for your service. I don't know who will be the next mayor. I think I've lived through that period of time maybe 5 times. It does get to be a little bit of the Hunger Game, but you know, you all will have good leadership regardless. And what has guided us throughout my time on Mason, my observation of you, is that you have an excellent staff, a staff that has arisen above any disagreements on council and has guided this city extremely well. And I thank again Eric and Jennifer and all of you on the staff who have done such a wonderful job the entire time I was involved, that my wife was involved, and I know that you will be there in the future. And I thank each and every one of you for your service.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Grossman. Would anyone else from the audience like to come up and address council? No? Okay. We are to item 30, and we are going to be adjourning into executive session. So I need a motion to adjourn into executive session for the purpose of discussing land acquisition, disposal, and personnel.
So moved.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance? Yes. Councilmember Bradburn? Yes. Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
And also, if council all agree, I would like to invite our council member-elect and to come back into executive session with us if you would like to, Scott. Do I need to take a vote for that? Are we all in favor? Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Okay, we do need to shut off for executive session, but we will need to turn it back on for legislation afterward.
Yep. Okay, I need a motion to reconvene into regular session.
So moved.
And all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, I need a motion to add ordinance 2023-104, ordinance 2023-105, ordinance 2023-106, and ordinance 2023-107 to the agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, ordinance 2023-104, motion to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, Jeff?
Establishing the salary administration plan, providing for consideration of increases in compensation on an annual basis, and granting a cost of living increase.
Okay, a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Grossman? Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn? Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023-105, a motion to read by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Jeff?
Repealing ordinance 2022-124 of the City of Mason, Ohio, and establishing hiring compensation ranges for City of Mason employment positions.
Okay, a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023-106, a motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Jeff?
Modifying the contract for legal services with Wood and Lamping LLP to provide for updated compensation.
A motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, a motion to adopt.
Moved.
Second.
Okay, any council discussion?
Jeff, thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, roll call.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2023-107.
Thank you.
A motion to read by title only.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Jeff?
Amending ordinance 2022-126, establishing the positions and rates of compensation for employees of the Mason Municipal Court.
Okay, a motion to suspend the rule and allow for adoption after the first reading.
So moved. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
A motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Any council discussion? Okay, roll call.
Vice Mayor Nelson?
Yes.
Councilmember Chance?
Yes.
Councilmember Bradburn?
Yes.
Councilmember Hackey?
Yes.
Councilmember Grossman?
Yes.
Councilmember Stricula?
Yes.
Mayor Spaeth?
Yes. Okay, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
All right, thank you. And good night.